morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay guys, so as you well know, I've spent a hell of a lot of gold this week. Obviously we're reinvesting with flipping and smelting, the milling and the prospecting. We've done all of that, we've posted that on the auction house. So that being the case, I went, let's take it a step further. Let's do the entire mount production that I can craft at this moment in time. For obvious reasons, I don't have my other engineer, so we can't create another of those other mounts. So the world spinner is not going to be included at the moment. I will have to transfer him over and then do that. But that being the case, we will first go over what I've done and the gold for the day. And then we'll get into the nice little ledger, which is on the side. And also we will then get into a few other little things talking about those infusions. So that being the case, let's have a look at our gold in our bags. It's 32,000 gold we've got left. So as you well know, we started off this week with 500,000 gold. We've spent 200,000 gold invested in flipping materials. So that'll be flipping as in the way in which we produce our maroon inks and all of the inks through that. We've done the osmanite flip. We've crafted into some gems. We've sold the sage agates. We're selling the sage agates because I kind of fell asleep last night and we did the mass milling this morning. That's what happens when you've been running around for like 26 hours without no sleep. You kind of crash. But that being the case, we also have a couple of other things, and that is we did the smelting one, and hopefully that's going to pay off some real big stuff. I know we've sold the Titan steel bars already, so pretty happy with all of that. And thus we have produced a load of mounts. We have now spent around about 300,000 gold into creating an array of different types of mounts. Other than that guys, we have made 2 ruby panthers and we can get a potential profit of 6,000 gold. And also we have gained the sapphire panthers, which are 6,000 gold profits, with the 6,000 profit which will be for the jade panthers. We've created 2 of every panther. Sapphire sunstone panthers are about 2,000 gold profit. Remember that this does take into consideration the auction house price and all that jazz when you use TSM crafting, so no worries there. Basically, the entire gist of this is to craft as many different types of mounts as I possibly can and have those on the auction house at any one time. So let's get into the other ones. We have the mechanized chopper, which is for 5,000 gold, 5,800 gold profit, and the flying carpet, which is done through tailoring for a 848 gold profit. And then we've got our Vial of the Sands mounts, which are the farm to crafts. Now the farm to crafts, I gather up all of the materials and then I craft it through that. So I don't really worry about that. That goes the same for the mechanized chopper as well. I farm to craft those. So they are my 2 farm to crafts, because the majority of the time they're either going to be a negative, and at the moment the mechanized chopper isn't a negative for crafting it, but when it comes to the Vial of the Sands it's nearly always a negative for crafting. So that's why I farm to craft. I pick my farm to crafts very well, and then I use my auction house crafting to produce all the other different types of mounts. So therefore, I have also crafted the turbocharged flying machine, which is crafting cost of 20,000 gold. We've made 1, and that's for 37,000. As the sell rate on it isn't that great for this realm, so I've only crafted 1, but that's a 37,000 gold profit if I sell that. That's pretty damn good. Other than that, I did make a flying machine which has a pretty damn good sell rate on it, and that is at a 0.11 sell rate, and that is for a 7,747 gold profit on top of that. And the depleted Hyperion rocket, which was a crafting cost of 64,935 gold, and what we get back if we sold it today is a 19,764 gold profit. Now the idea of this entire concept is to have as many of these on our auction house as possible, so most mounts sell pretty damn fast. And the idea is to have as many as I can on the auction house of multiple different ones without actually tanking the price, and then being able to sell those and then using that profit to reinvest into other things, and then subsequently we will get a nice cash flow back, making up our gold again. It's kind of like what we did with the Vial of the Sands. We went for broke, and now we went into the Mechanist Chopper, then we went for broke again, and then we got up to that 500,000 gold with all of that jazz, and now we're just doing it with all the other mounts now. So it's the exact same premise, but done on a larger scale, hence why I've spent so much gold. I've done this before, so I'm fairly confident. I was talking to the guys in Discord about this. I'm fairly confident about this because I've done it multiple times and it works. So I'll just have to show you guys the actual results of this. So at this moment in time, I've changed my TSM operations for this to actually just post it on. I'm going to update them and post them into the Discord if you really want to have the mounts crafted section for just crafting and posting in general. And that's the way I go about selling these types of mounts. And aside from all of that, it is currently with 300,000 gold profit, gold invested, and worth it is now inventory value of all those mounts is 532,750 gold if I sold all of them. So that means we would make around about 232,000 gold profit on top of that, which we can use to invest into other things. So the idea is to keep as many on the auction house as possible and keep producing them. I will have to get my other engineers to actually invest in the world spinner. But aside from that, guys, let's get into the gold for the day. Now, the gold for the day is a healthy 110,592 gold. I didn't think I was going to be poor for that long. 32,000 is not good for me. So let's have a look at what are the notable things that we have actually sold for the day. And that is 169 dredged leather for 2,222 gold, along with 66 cobalt bars. So we've sold all those cobalt bars that we actually produced yesterday. We also have sold 109 Dawn Star ink for 2,383 gold. And also we have sold the Titan Steel bars for 12,243 gold. Obviously, if you remember on my realm, the Titan Steel bars can be produced really, really cheaply, but also they sell really cheaply. So that's why usually on like medium and low pop realms, they go for like crazy amounts. But on my realm, as it's a high pop, it's not going to go for all that much. So the profit on that is still good. It's like double the amount that we invested in that, but overall not really that great. So I'm glad that the inks are selling. So that seems to be a market for the actual inks. So we will have to start keeping up with the flipping on the different types of inks, and the same with the Titan Steel as well. So I may have to produce some more. Other than that, the other things of note is 3,320 ultramarine pigments. Yes, I sold the pigments of those because they had the same sell rate on them. So I was like, okay, I'll just have them and do it. So aside from that, that is 1,232 gold for those. And going along with this is 424 crimson ink for 9,149 gold. And along with that, 250 obsidian bars for 10,277 gold. We have pretty much made back exactly what we've been selling. So those bar flips have been working, along with the Saronite bars. They've been working as well. 300 of those, so the 300 we did for 8,719 gold profit for that flip. And the iron bars actually sold 300 of those for 1,566 gold. That was pretty damn good flip. Now, aside from that, we also sold 241 maroon ink once again for 9,070 gold. And a Vial of the Sands for 47,982 gold. Not the best Vial of the Sands sale, but we still made some profits on that. So the idea is obviously we'll be doing all of the other stuff, but at the end of the day, we've still made some profit on the Vial of the Sands. So I'm pretty damn happy with that overall. And other than that, that's pretty much everything. So that's 110,592 gold. And our bag value should be up to a healthy amount again for when we're actually crafting more stuff. After this, we will get into all of that jazz. So our bag value now is back up to 142,694 gold for reinvestments into other crafted materials. Now, that being the case, let's get into my crafting plan. Now, the crafting plan goes as follows. For the basic things that I want to do is with my tailoring, I want to have uncanny items at rank 3, so I need roughly around about 36 marks of honor to get up to rank 3 in all of my tailoring stuff, which is done on the checklist on here. And we will be producing, and we'll be making sure that every week on basically a Monday, we will make sure that we've got 2 every time of the flying carpet on the auction house, and this will go for all of the mounts. That I will make sure that those are on the auction house at all times. So that's just to keep an idea of what I have to craft all the time. Now, jumping into this, we also have the uncanny already. I have the uncanny combatants initiative staff, and I want 2 of these crafted pretty much all the time. And that one is at rank 3 already because I use some of my marks of honor already, so I don't have to worry about that dual crafting craft. I will be reinvesting into that later on today, and we can get into that. Aside from that, all of the panther mounts once again, except for the onyx panther, which we will get into once we've pulled up until about 300,000 gold. We'll start producing the onyx panther as well, and then we'll add into the production for that. So aside from all of that, that is dual crafting. Now you can see that this is pretty dead simple. We're not doing any of the dual crafting battle pets yet. It's just a bog standard crafting list until we've got a lot more gold back in, so we can then do more crafts and then more crafts and then pull in more and more gold. Kind of like an ocean current. So other than that, let's go into engineering. And engineering is, I need to get it to engineering skill 175. Along with that, I want all the uncanny ranks, so that comes up to 12 marks of honor. That shouldn't be too hard to get to because I already have 7 marks of honor already. And then with that, I can then produce the uncanny items, so those maces. Also, I need to go do the mother load to get hold of my supercharged engine recipe because I want to add the Gallywix ATV type mount into the mix of crafted mounts, so we'll be getting into that. And also keeping up to date with all of the other mounts that we are having in our production list. Aside from that, we will get into inscription now. And that is, I want 30 Codex of Quiet Mind on the auction house at all times. I want 30 War Scrolls of Battle Shout on the auction house at all times. Tomes of Illusion, well, Tome of the Quiet Mind, War Scroll of Fortitude, War Scroll of Intellect, and Scroll of Unlocking. I want 20 of those on the auction house at all times. Also, I want all 5 of the compendiums all the time on the auction house. And I want 5 Glyphs of the Sentinel on the auction house as well, along with Tomes of the Tranquil Mind, Glyph of Fire from Heavens. That's a really cool effect. And then we also want the Glyph of Blazing Trail. I do need to place into this thing that I need to get my glyphs for inscription, because obviously we neglected everything last year, so we're a little bit behind when it comes to recipes and all that jazz. But this is what we can do with the assets that we have at the moment in time. We can still pull in a decent amount of gold. So aside from that, with alchemy, we are going to be producing 20 draconic water breathing elixirs, along with swiftness potions, water walking, potions of treasure finding. We want 10 flask of winds and 10 flask of titanic strength on the auction house at all times, along with 2 vial of the sands and 20 deep stone oil on the auction house at all times. This is an all-time thing, so as soon as things start to sell, we check it. see if it needs doing, and then we'll craft the stuff, that the remaining stuff that we do need. So say we only sold 5 of deepstone oil, we will then just craft the 5 that's missing and then post those on the auction house, because I want to keep a flat amount on the auction house at all times, but we'll be doing that on a once weekly basis. And if they're a frequent seller, it'll be considered as a daily craft instead of a weekly craft, so to speak. So into blacksmithing, I want the reinforced chassis recipe, obviously for the Gallywix ATV, and along with that I want the rank 3s, which are for blacksmithing, weapons and armour, and they are going to cost me 66 marks of honour. It's a good thing I like PvP, because you know, that's a lot of marks of honour. So that being the case, the other thing that I forgot to put in there was the Tichondrius fight for the mount for blacksmithing, so I will be getting into that as well. I just need to get it to drop. And then the leatherworking recipe, which is the uncanny ranks for rank 3s, and that will cost me another 66 marks of honour. So we're looking at well over 140 odd marks of honour that we need. And we also are going to be producing 5 comfortable riding bards crafted, and 30 drums of fury, along with 30 magnificent hide if we need it. That's only if it's viable. That's only if a viable method. So if exotic leather is pretty much cheap, really cheap as it is at the moment, I will be producing that into magnificent hide to reduce cost and increase gold. So the next things of note that I want to be crafting is I want to get my cooking to rank 3 all the feasts. I want to make sure that all my feasts are at rank 3, so then I can start producing my feasts on a mass level, because obviously raiding and all of that jazz. And then I want 30 bear tartars on the auction house at all times for us gold farmers, as they pull in still a decent amount of gold. And along with that, we also want 30 ghastly goulash on the auction house at all times. They will probably be daily crafts, along with a 30 grilled gnashers and 30 kebabs. These ones are seeming to be the best sellers, so I'm making sure I'm focusing on those. And this one is going to be the one that's going to come into the last part of the video, which is the Shadow Morn. Now, Shadow Morn, I've only done the Unholy Infusion for my warrior, and I need to get the Unholy done for my DK. I need the Blood Infusions for my warrior and my DK, and the Frost Infusions for my DK and my warrior, along with, after all the infusions, I need to collect 50 souls from all of the bosses, and we should have our Shadow Morns, and then once that's done, we can delete this group. So other than that, that moves on to what I want to say, and that is, if you want to give me a hand, I will be on tonight for Shadow Morn quest lines. So anyone who is on EU, I would gladly appreciate any help with the blood infusions, and if a random person wants to give me a hand with the unholy infusion, that would be awesome. Aside from that, I will be recording the gameplay for the blood infusions and the frost infusion, and then I can just crack on and get that done. And then we can make an overview for that. So I thought of a new way in which I can convey what I'm actually talking about. So other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say for the day. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you on the next video, which will be tomorrow. Have an awesome day, guys, and I shall see you soon.